Can you believe it? While Mixue is sweeping the country with 3 yuan ice cream, a former industry leader is quietly falling. Its stock price has plunged by more than 90%, and its market value has evaporated by 30 billion yuan. That company is Nayuki Tea, the first publicly listed brand in the new tea beverage market. On the evening of March 7th, Nayuki Tea, a major player in the Chinese tea industry, announced that its revenue for last year is expected to drop by 7% compared to the previous year, with a net loss estimated between 880 million and 970 million yuan. So, why is this once high-end tea brand, often compared to Starbucks, now struggling so much that even employees who've been with the company for over a decade are jumping ship? Today, let's break down how Nayuki Tea managed to ruin a good hand with 3 major mistakes. Mistake number 1, locking itself into a high-end image. Since its founding in 2015, Nayuki's co-founder was obsessed with creating a third space in the city. Each store was 200 to 300 square meters, with renovation costs reaching millions. Just the rent alone was 30% higher than industry peers. Meanwhile, Mixue operates from tiny 8 square meter stores that somehow fit 3 or 4 employees, and their rent costs account for less than 5% of their revenue. Nayuki's heavy investment model became a fatal weakness when competition in the market became cutthroat. Mistake number 2, failed innovations and losing its unique edge. While competitors focused on fresh fruit teas and milk teas, Nayuki started experimenting with unusual products. Their monk fruit juice was mocked for tasting like an herbal medicine, and they even pushed a light meal concept, leading people to joke that it had turned into a salad shop. These misguided innovations flopped, and instead of boosting sales, they dragged revenue down further. Mistake number 3, out-of-control costs leading to massive losses. In just 4 years since going public, Nayuki has lost a staggering 5.6 billion yuan, an unmatched record in the milk tea industry. The main problem? Costs are simply too high. In recent years, raw materials accounted for about 35%, labor about 30%, and rent about 15% of Nayuki's revenue, eating up 80% of their total income. By comparison, brands like Cha Panda and Mixue Bingcheng kept their labor costs under 15%. Mixue's rent costs are just 3%, about 1/5 of Nayuki's. The savings alone give Mixue the firepower to launch new price wars whenever they want. Now, with the quiet departure of Deng Bing, a 10-year veteran who played a key role in the company's IPO, it's clear that investors have completely lost faith in Nayuki's high-end narrative.
Here's a tough reality. Nayuki Tea is expected to lose up to 970 million yuan in 2024, with net profits plummeting by over 4,500% year on year. I opened a 140 square meter Nayuki store in February 2024. It cost me 1.3 million yuan to buy the franchise. Right now, the store is still running, but all the money I make goes straight to paying rent and staff salaries. I'm left with almost nothing.
This netizen shared that the only reason their store was able to stay afloat was that it was the only Nayuki in Tengzhou. Most of the other stores that opened around the same time have already closed down.
Around 20 or 30 franchise owners have asked me to go to Shenzhen to protest for our rights. I told them, I haven't gone out of business yet. They replied, well, once you do, it's all over for you. Honestly, running this milk tea shop feels like being a total sucker.
Some people online say that Nayuki's business strategy is like trying to sell Mao Tai liquor to Gen Z or pushing a Rolls Royce to delivery drivers earning 3,000 yuan a month, a recipe for failure. Around 2015, a new wave of tea drinks became popular in mainland China. Unlike traditional milk tea, which uses tea powder and creamer, these new-style tea drinks are made with high-quality tea leaves, fresh milk, imported cream, natural dairy products, and fresh fruit. Because of the better ingredients, they're usually priced much higher. According to Hongcan Big Data, the size of China's freshly made tea beverage market grew from 42 billion yuan in 2015 to 142 billion yuan in 2021, an increase of 100 billion yuan. From the beginning, Nayuki Tea positioned itself as a premium brand, aiming to be the Starbucks of Chinese tea. The company targeted young women aged 20 to 35, consumers who value quality and are willing to pay a premium for a better lifestyle. To attract these customers, Nayuki invested heavily in several areas. First, their store locations were carefully chosen. Most were in prime areas of major cities, with large store spaces. The bright, stylish, and cozy interiors made their stores popular spots for photos and social media check-ins. Nayuki also paid close attention to product design. The company's co-founder, Plunge, personally tested and adjusted the design of their signature tall, slim cups dozens of times to ensure they fit comfortably in a woman's hand. The lid even had a special groove to prevent smudging lipstick. Their packaging was also designed to be visually appealing and Instagram-worthy. The brand quickly attracted significant investment. By the end of 2017, with just 44 stores, Nayuki secured over 90 million yuan from Tiantu Capital. In 2018, Tiantu made additional investments, pushing the company's valuation to 6 billion yuan and establishing Nayuki as a leading unicorn in the tea beverage market. These funds helped Nayuki expand aggressively, building new stores, hiring teams, establishing a central factory, improving supply chains, and developing IT systems. Just before going public, Nayuki received $100 million from major investors PAG and Highland Capital. By 2020, the company's revenue exceeded 3 billion yuan. In 2021, only 6 years after it was founded, Nayuki Tea became the first publicly listed new-style tea brand, debuting on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. However, since its IPO, Nayuki's stock price has plummeted from 19.8 Hong Kong dollars per share to just over 1 Hong Kong dollar per share, a staggering 90% drop. The main reason for the collapse is simple. In an era where Chinese consumers are tightening their belts, Nayuki's prices are just too high. In the first 3 quarters of 2020, Nayuki's average order price was 43.3 yuan, while the industry average was about 35 yuan. This led to jokes online calling Nayuki the Moutai of milk tea, a luxury version of an everyday drink. Despite the high prices, the company's profit margins were slim. Out of every 43 yuan order, about 36 yuan went towards costs, leaving a profit of only 7 yuan. The real problem wasn't the premium strategy itself, but the rapid decline in consumer spending after the pandemic, which hit Nayuki hard. Even other major players in the industry were struggling. Cha Panda, another publicly listed tea company with nearly 8,000 stores, reported a net profit of just 220 to 250 million yuan in the first half of 2024, a year-on-year decline of over 60%. As China's economy continues to slow down, investors have pulled away from the milk tea industry, and non-essential leisure spending like tea beverages have taken a major hit. According to data from Hongcang.com, 197,000 milk tea shops closed in 2024 alone. This wave of closures includes both major brands that once aimed for nationwide expansion and thousands of small business owners drawn in by the earlier milk tea boom. Reports say that opening a milk tea shop today has become increasingly risky, with survival times shrinking fast. Where stores used to last 6 months, many now close within 3. If a shop manages to survive for over a year, it's already considered a rare success. It's sobering to note that once a popular milk tea brand with nearly 300 chain stores nationwide shut down all its directly operated stores by April last year. Its founder, Xie Yao, even resorted to selling goods on the street. In just 5 years, Xie Yao experienced dramatic highs and lows. Reflecting on her failure, she bluntly admitted that it was due to being shameless, brainless, and overconfident. Meanwhile, dominating the Chinese milk tea industry is Mixue, nicknamed the Snow King. It has crushed many mid to high-end competitors with its unbeatable low prices. It's now widely recognized as the most aggressive cost cutter in China's tea beverage industry. On March 3rd, Mixue made a spectacular debut on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Its stock price surged over 29% on the first day, closing at 262 Hong Kong dollars per share and giving the company a market value of 98 billion Hong Kong dollars, just shy of the 100 billion Hong Kong dollar milestone. According to company data, Mixue's store count grew rapidly, from 29,000 at the end of 2022 to 37,600 by the end of 2023, and 46,000 by the end of 2024, adding roughly 9,000 new outlets every year. This rapid expansion likely fueled the strong market response to its IPO. However, despite its impressive growth, the Snow King faces significant risks. The market has its limits, and as Mixue Bingcheng's store count reaches a certain saturation point, the company will not only face external competition from rivals like Guming and Cha Panda, but also internal competition between its own franchise locations. Some franchisees report that when a new Mixue store opens within a 3-kilometer radius, the profits of existing outlets in the area drop sharply. Some even struggle to survive. After all, local consumer demand is finite, and there's only so much room for more Mixue stores. Longtime franchisees are also feeling the squeeze. One veteran who once operated 8 Mixue stores at the brand's peak shared that the company continues to allow new franchises to open within 2 kilometers of their existing stores, causing severe revenue declines. According to them, Mixue Bingcheng's biggest competitor isn't other brands like Sweet La La or Guming. It's always the next Mixue store opening just across the street. Beyond store saturation, Mixue Bingcheng's other defining competitive edge, its ultra-low prices, presents both a strength and a vulnerability. Many consumers choose Mixue Bingcheng primarily because it offers products at the lowest prices in its category. This cost advantage is a key reason why the brand has been able to secure a strong foothold in the competitive market. One major factor behind Mixue's ability to maintain such low prices lies in its powerful supply chain system. According to the company's promotional materials, its flagship product, lemon water, is priced as 4 yuan per cup because lemons are sourced directly and delivered to franchise locations without intermediaries. Mixue's IPO prospectus reveals that the company has established an extensive procurement network covering 38 countries across 6 continents. Mixue Bingcheng purchased approximately 115,000 tons of lemons in 2023, making it the largest lemon buyer in China. More than 60% of the ingredients it provides to franchisees are self-produced, the highest rate in China's freshly made beverage industry, while 100% of core beverage ingredients are produced in-house. This vertically integrated model, connecting upstream raw materials with its vast network of franchise stores, allows the company to cut costs and adopt a low-margin, high-volume strategy. However, if Mixue's low-price model cannot be sustained or expanded beyond a limited range of products, the strategy of driving consumer demand solely through low cost will inevitably squeeze franchisees' profits. If franchise numbers decline and the company struggles to absorb upstream raw materials, Mixue Bingcheng could face stagnation. The company's prospectus also reveals that the bulk of its revenue comes from the sale of goods and equipment to franchisees. This includes providing store materials, such as product ingredients and packaging, and operational equipment. Revenue from franchise-related sales amounted to 10.1 billion yuan in 2021, 13.3 billion yuan in 2022, 19.9 billion yuan in 2023, and 18.2 billion yuan in the first 3 quarters of 2024. It's clear that Mixue's real profit driver isn't the low-priced beverages customers see. It's the consumables and equipments that franchisees are required to purchase. Ultimately, Mixue earns its profits from franchisees, who in turn rely on high customer volumes to stay profitable. But if franchisees can no longer generate sufficient revenue through sheer volume, how can they continue to afford the substantial cost of buying materials and equipment from Mixue? Perhaps recognizing these challenges, Mixue has already begun expanding overseas as the domestic Chinese market approaches saturation. In May 2023, the company opened a store at Bangkok's Siam Square. Staying true to its low-price strategy, Mixue's entry into the Thai market created a buzz. Signature items are priced competitively: 15 Thai baht for a soft-serve cone, 20 Thai baht for a large iced lemon water, 45 Thai baht for a fruit tea, and 40 Thai baht for a brown sugar bubble tea. When converted to yuan, these prices are nearly identical to those in China. A netizen shared their experience visiting a Mixue store in Bangkok. They confirmed that prices significantly undercut local competitors while maintaining a decent taste. Its 20 Thai baht large cup of lemon juice even uses Eureka lemons. However, they noted that while these stores initially attracted good business, the buzz gradually faded. They pointed out 3 key reasons. 1. Intense competition. Southeast Asia is already saturated with beverage shops, making it difficult for any single brand to maintain a dominant position. 2. Short-lived novelty. Local consumers are drawn to new experiences, but once the excitement wears off and products fail to evolve, interest wanes. 3. Internal competition. Just like in China, Mixue faces the problem of oversaturation from its own franchise stores, which cannibalize each other's sales. The netizen also highlighted a deeper deeper concern. Mixue may be more focused on playing a capital game than building a long-lasting brand. The company's aggressive push to open store numbers without controlling franchise density suggests a priority on boosting financial reports for shareholders rather than sustainable growth. This aggressive expansion strategy might keep the company afloat during its current stock surge, but the underlying risks are clear. If major shareholders begin offloading their stakes after a peak and supply chain disruptions hit franchisees, the entire volume-driven model could collapse overnight. A cautionary tale lies in the downfall of Nayuki Tea. It aspired to rival Starbucks, but with Starbucks retreating from the market, Nayuki lost its benchmark and is now teetering on the edge of collapse. At the heart of the issue is the shrinking middle class and their dwindling disposable income, a challenge that Mixue cannot escape either. For now, Mixue's rapid rise depends less on its consumer appeal and more on the franchisees eager to jump in, hoping for a slice of the pie. But as the company is now publicly listed, those same franchisees are growing increasingly anxious. With the Ice King now on the stock market, some worry that an exit strategy may already be in motion. It's just a question of who reacts first.